Hi Ken! Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video because it's like a long time since I did book reviews on my channel. I have stopped back in February where I just started to read books for the sake of reading books, and I stopped doing the reviews. Nobody read them, nobody cared. I felt like it was a waste of time and I wasn't able to catch myself up. Nobody cares about my opinions on books because there are so many awesome booktubers out there. So I just stopped altogether with book reviews. So this is a very long time coming catch up video. Yay! Ha ha ha. Yeah, don't ask. So let's have some water first. And jump right into it. Yes, I just saw the Barbie movie on Tuesday, FYI. I'm a little cray-cray, I know. No, I'm not. I'm just weird today. So the first book is One by One by Ruth Ware. I only gave this book a 3 out of 5 just because I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed her Woman in Cabin 10. That was the first book that I read by Ruth Ware and I was blown away by that book. So having her other books, I grabbed this one from my shelf to read it. It was good. I couldn't put this book down. Now, would I read it again? Probably not. Would this book make a good movie? Yes. But I still gave it 3 out of 5 because I compared it to her other book. So pretty much a company called Snoop, they make an app where you can snoop on what other people listen to in terms of music. And they all come together for a ski resort getaway in the French Alps. So it's like corporate retreat, etc. PowerPoint presentations, broken up sessions, and then they hit the slopes, ski exact stuff like that. It says, as soon as one shareholder upends the agenda by pushing a lucrative but conscientious buyout offer, tensions simmer and loyalties are tested. There's a storm brewing inside the chalet is no longer a match for the one brewing outside. However, a devastating avalanche leaves the group cut off from all access to the outside world. Even worse, one snooper hadn't made it back from the slopes when the avalanche hit. Mystery, thriller, someone in the ski chalet is killing the group one by one, hence why it's called One by One. Still good thriller. I believe I think another reason why I gave it 3 stars is because I kind of figured out near the middle-ish of the book who it was just by the way they talked and things that they said. I'm like, okay, it's got to be this person. And I was right, so I think it's cool when I'm right, but also I'm like, I don't want to be right. I want that big twist plot reveal at the end where I'm not right, that, oh, it wasn't that person. But that was kind of the gist of that. Another book I read is Magpie by Elizabeth Day. So, a pacey, stylish thriller, which the Observer said. And then also, I'm going to read this because this is one of my favorite author of the Midnight Library, Matt Haig. Magpie is clever, suspenseful read with brilliant central pivot and a keen eye for relationships, including the toxic ones. A compelling twist and read, Elizabeth Day is a wonderful writer and this Magpie has strong winds. I ended up giving this book a 3.5 out of 5 for reasons because I'm probably not gonna read it again. It was a good book, good plot twist at the end. It was sad and kind of made me feel for friends that I know of and stuff like that that are really having trouble having a family just because of certain health issues and stuff like that, just issues in general where people have miscarriages and can't have kids and are trying so hard to have kids but they can't. If that is your case, don't read this book. This would be a huge trigger warning for that. And somebody wrote that somewhere, but I can't remember where for some reason. And it wasn't in the book because I checked in the book and I thought it had that trigger warning on it. Which it should. I honestly think all books should have a trigger warning to them if they have a very sensitive topic in them, which this book does. So I'm kind of disappointed this did not have the trigger warning on there. Because like I said, even though for me it wasn't my personal experience, it would have given me a trigger warning if that would have been my case in terms of struggling to have a family. So that definitely would have been a trigger warning for me. So for you, if that's a trigger warning, I would not read the book. That's just my thought though. Another reason why I gave it 3.5 out of 5. Next book, let's do... Okay, I think I read this in April. Bunny by Mona A. I'm pretty sure I did a review on this already, but I'm going to do it again anyways. Bunny by Mona Awad. What did I just read? This book, I was reading it. I was going to DNF it. Then I continued to read it. Then I wanted to know what happened. Then I got to the end and I'm like, okay, cool. Again, what did I just read? I think I missed a lot of the... I don't think it would be weirdness aspect, but a lot of the different... I don't really know how to say it. This gives like a different vibe to it. Like, I wish I could explain this. It's like, what was it? Okay, so dark, twisted. Interesting. It says chosen as book of the year. Oh. By Time, Vogue, Electric Literature, the New York Public Library. Okay. Okay. I've seen this movie, but I haven't read the book. It says a spiritual cousin to Stephen King's Carrie. Okay. Knowing that, this might make sense now. Do I have No, I don't have Stephen King's book Carrie. I might have to read that book. I've seen the movie, but it's been a while since I've seen that movie. So, I might have to find the book and read Stephen King's Carrie and then reread this book and see how similar it is. So a group of girls, they call themselves Bunny. It's like... I originally thought this was like Pretty Little Liars, popular girls, kind of messed up, things like that. And this is way more messed up than Pretty Little Liars. I'm going to give you that. I do want to do a reread on this book. Okay? Even though it wasn't my favorite, I feel like I need to reread this book and see what I missed in this book. Because I feel like I missed a lot. And this is a super short book. This is like, 300 pages. And it's like, it could be an easy reread and like a... Okay, well, for me, with my busy schedule, it could take a while. So this one, I believe, I'm pretty sure that was in the video. Now I'm pretty sure I did this book review too. I'm going to do it again anyways, because I don't remember. So this is my first book by Casey McQuiston called One Last Stop. I originally got this because it was on Indigo's Top 10 of 2021. And I got all 10 books and I've only read 3 of them so far. But this is a keeper. I love this book. My first Casey McQuiston book. And then I actually did get Red, White, and Royal Blue because that, I believe, was her first book. And I want to read it because I want to watch the show on Amazon Prime. So this is like a time travel book. Caught in time, two people that meet on the train, and she can't get off the train. I'm trying to remember. So August is the main character, and she meets Jane on a train, and Jane cannot get off the train because she's caught in this like loop. So it looks like it says where is it? August's subway crush becomes the best part of her day, but pretty soon she discovers there was one big problem. Jane doesn't look like an old school punk rocker. Doesn't just look like an old school punk rocker. She's displaced in time from the 1970s, and August is going to have to use everything she tried to leave in her own past to help Jane. Maybe it's time to start believing in some things after all. So definitely a really good love story. I loved every bit of this book. I don't think I've ever been disappointed in any of these books. Like the ones that I read back in January. The first to die in the end and the last to die in the end. The last to die. I'm like staring at them right now, but love them. I love those books. The other ones, I have to reread them because I got the third book and I still haven't read it, so I gotta reread the series. Girls with Paper and Fire. Need to reread it. It's like a fantasy romance, gay lesbian romance series, which I need to reread. And I need to reread the first two books because I got the last book and I haven't read it yet. So, problem, I know. One last stop, easily, if I could give it a 10 out of 5, I would, but I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. By Anna Hahn. OMG. Loved. And I didn't realize I was such a huge fan of these adult romance books. I had no... Okay, well, I kind of did, I guess, but I thought like the adult romance books, the only ones that I would really like was like 50 Shades of Grey, because I thought that was like a cool concept and I've seen the movies. And I didn't really think I was really going to enjoy like any other kind of book similar to that. And this all my expectations have been like completely fulfilled in this book. Not really fulfilled expectations. I was saying I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did, okay? And I did. Easy 5 out of 5. So this is like brother's best friend, forbidden love, romance, etc. Steamy. So good. So the next book that I haven't read yet, is Twisted Games, and I haven't read that book yet. Some people said they didn't like this book as much as, I think it was, the popular book I believe is Twisted Hate from the series, if I'm not mistaken. But Twisted Love, love this book, in love with this book. Definitely if you like spicy novels, spicy romance, read this book. I gave that one easy 5 out of 5. So I'm going to put that here. Okay. I read this book because someone said this was similar to The Silent Patient, and when I finished this book, I was disappointed in the fact that it didn't give me the expectations in the end that The Silent Patient did. It was like, okay, so this is, again, a thriller. The Perfect Marriage or the Perfect Lie, Behind Closed Doors. Don't get me wrong, this was a good book. But the fact that in my mind I wanted to be similar to The Silent Patient, because this was a book someone recommended, if you like The Silent Patient, read this. This was a book that was on the list. This is my first B.A. Paris book that I have read, and I have 2 of her other books, I believe, or 3 of her other books, something like that. So a couple, Jack and Grace, they're married, they look wealthy, but then people wonder why they never see her on her own. She doesn't carry a purse around. And Jack always has to be with Grace at all times. And it's like, again, definitely trigger warning. I think this one did have a trigger warning too somewhere. Okay, this book came out in 2000. So this is a domestic thriller, okay, and I like how this person described it. If you have been any kind of situation like that, don't read this book. This gave me goosebumps, just the fact that this book is so real that it can happen to anyone was how I find that this book gave me goosebumps. It can happen to anyone. It's out there. Things like this exist we don't even know exist. It exists. Believe you me, this can actually exist in the real world, and I think that's what made this book scary to me and made me kind of uncomfortable at times, just because I realized that this book happens to a lot of women all over the world. Women, men, it just happens in a lot of relationships all over the world, and you don't know or see it because they act so perfect that no family or friends can see it until it's too late. Read this one at your own risk. Take what you want away from it, but the fact that this book was so real, I gave this book a 4 out of 5. So real to me. Realistic, could easily be made into a movie. I loved every minute of the book, couldn't put it down, and it was definitely a book worth reading. It wasn't similar to The Silent Patient, unfortunately, but it was still a book worth reading. So I'm just going to put, what did I say, 4 out of 5, right? Behind, closed. I believe B.I. Paris, she has like 3 or 4 other books out. By Lindsay Miller. Loved every minute of this book. If I give it a 10 out of 5, I could. 5 out of 5, hands down. As you can see by the title, by the cover of this book, it's a Little Mermaid retelling, but from Eric's perspective, with a little bit of a different storyline. You see more from Eric's perspective, so they have like pirates in here, they have ghosts in here, and it's just a little bit more of a, well, this is a young adult fantasy novel. So it's not as innocent as The Little Mermaid, Disney's version of The Little Mermaid. Like I said, it has the pirates, shipwrecks, and ghosts in it, which I loved every bit of it. And then it says, do find the isle, do kill the witch, don't kiss the girl. Witch, as in Ursula, etc. 100% hands down. 10 out of 5, like I said. 10 out of 10 if I could, but 10 out of 5. So I'm going to go 5/5 because I love this book so much. If you like fairy tale retellings, this is a book for you. I believe she has one out of Sleeping Beauty now, of the prince from Sleeping Beauty, which I complete. Philip, I believe. Ba-ba-bum. My most current read that I finished that I loved, Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, 5 out of 5. This gave me the Summer I Turned Pretty vibes. Love that, I guess. That was kind of why I really like this. I'm currently reading Meet Me at the Lake, as well as Daisy Darker, and I find that I had to stop reading Meet Me at the Lake and switch to a different book for now. Not because it's not as good, but I can't get into the book as much as I got into Every Summer After, and I don't know why. So, Every Summer After, 5 out of 5. Like I said, it gives me Summer I Turn Pretty vibes, which I have to do a reread of it. Definitely, I showed you the books that are worth reading. So the ones I would say, the ones I ended up giving like the highest ratings to was One Last Stop, Prince of Song and Sea, Twisted Love, and Every Summer After. These were all 5 out of 5 books. 100%. Pick them up. You will love them. You won't regret them. And I will see you, Barbies and Kens, in my next video.